Hello friends and viewers, Into the Flame, which is Mission 2 of the Protoss campaign of Starcraft 1.
Entaro Adun, Executor. Your defense of Antioch has restored my faith in the Templar caste. I admit that Tassadar's desertion had shaken my faith.
Indeed, Aldaris. I would hope that the Judicator would put more faith in their Templar brethren.
Tassadar, where have you been?
Be silent, Judicator. There is no time to waste, and I have much to tell you. As you know, the Zerg vanished after the fall of the Terran world of Tarsonis, and though the Conclave bid me return home, I was compelled to remain. A powerful psionic call drew my attention to a remote barren world named Char. Apparently the call was answered by others as well. For upon Char, I encountered those who were once our brethren, the Dark Templar.
Consorting with the Fallen Ones is heresy.
Enough! Hear me, Executor, for I have learned much from the Dark Templar prelate, Zeratul. The Overmind controls its minions through agents called Cerebrates. Strike down the Cerebrates, and the swarms will surely fall.
Executor, Tassadar may be right. If you can keep the Zerg occupied, my force may be able to penetrate their perimeter and slay the abomination.
I pray we can trust you, Tassadar. Already I can sense the taint of the Fallen One's influence on your mind. You must return to Ire at once.
My concern is for the safety of Ire, not the judgments of the Conclave. I will return when the time is right.
I love that Tassadar guy. Tassadar and Phoenix. Awesome leaders. Aldaris is obviously very concerned about whether or not... Oh, Balrog brood. Oh, that's interesting. Is that a reference to Lord of the Rings? Or was the term Balrog even before then? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, what I was saying, Aldaris is very concerned about Tassadar being tainted by the Dark Templar. And Tassadar is obviously just concerned about protecting the homeworld of Ire. Alright, we need to distract the Zerg while Phoenix gets into position. And we need to kill the Zerg Cerebrates. Phoenix must survive. Alright, so I'm assuming he's in this group of 4 zealots somewhere. It's one of these guys. So we will be attacked by the Zerg from the east. Pretty continuously, I believe. But I think my main objective or strategy is to build up a huge army of Dragoons. Remember, the Cerebrates, they are those, like, generals of the Zerg. Just one step down from the Overmind, so they control huge portions of the swarm. Strike down the Cerebrates, and then the Zerg will become feral, and will start attacking everything, even their own swarm. They don't have a psionic leader anymore. And I thought it was interesting in the briefing of that mission how Tassadar said he received a call to the homeworld Char. That was basically when Kerrigan was in her chrysalis form, desperately reaching out psionically to anything or anyone to rescue her. So her psionic emanations reached across worlds. Jim received those psionic communications in the form of a dream. It even seems that Mengsk received some as well. That's why he sent General Duke. And we also, the Dark Templar as well received those psionic emanations, and that's why Zeratul visited Char, and that's why Tassadar did as well. Remember, there are 2 factions in the Protoss civilization. The Light Templar, Tassadar, Aldaris, they are part of that caste. And then Zeratul, he is a Dark Templar. They're kind of like alien ninjas, I guess. Samurai. I guess samurai would be a more appropriate term. They dabble with dark energies, so it's kind of similar to Star Wars, where we have like the light version of the Force and the dark version of the Force. Similar to that here with the Protoss civilization, we have the Light Templar and the Dark Templar. And Aldaris has very clearly stated his disdain for the Dark Templar. They were outcast from Ire and sent away, and they eventually established their own world called Shakuris, and we will visit that later on in the story. So the Protoss have what are called, I guess, nerve endings. They look like, I don't know, they kind of look like dreads. They're on the back of their heads. The Light Templar keep their dreads long, their nerve cords. And that helps them maintain psionic communication with the rest of the Protoss race. So they are a very collective society. The Protoss on the light side, I guess. The Dark Templar chose to sever their nerve cords, so they can still communicate telepathically, but they have to be, I think, within close range of each other, kind of like how humans speak and yell to each other. And I guess a comparison would be the long nerve cords kind of act as, I don't know, long range radio waves or cell phone technology, something like that. The internet. So they're able to communicate with each other over long distances, and the Dark Templar chose to sever their nerve cords, and they are now disconnected, or even almost even like excommunicated from the Light Templar. Because I do get the vibe that it's almost very religious. Anyway, I digress. As you can see, I'm building up some defenses around my base in the form of Protoss cannons. These are my favorite defensive structures to build. Remember with the Zerg, a few playlist videos back, you have to choose whether you're going to go ground defenses in the form of sunken colonies or air defenses in the form of spore colonies. And it's similar with the Terrans as well. With air defenses, you have missile turrets. With ground defenses, you have siege tanks or bunkers. But with the Protoss, that is one benefit I really like, is that these cannons will attack both ground and air units. And they're quite powerful. Speaking of, we have a Zerg Overlord attempting to drop off some units. It's being attacked, so it quickly drops its Zerglings off on the lower area. And I'm able to attack them before they're able to get too close. Where is Phoenix? He usually has a different icon in the group of soldiers down there. I don't know. He must survive, but I don't know if I even have control of him. So either this Overlord is scouting our base, or he was attempting to drop off some Zerglings. I'm accruing a pretty formidable force here. I'm honestly just going to let the Zealots, once they die, they die. I'm not going to replenish Zealots. I'm just going to focus on Dragoons. Favorite unit of the Protoss. Favorite ground unit for sure. My favorite air unit is probably the carriers, but they require so much resources and time to construct, or I guess warp in, to be canonically correct there. I'm going to build 2 gateways so that I can double my Dragoon production. Alright, going back to the briefing. Based on what Zeratul has told Tassadar, we need to kill the Cerebrates to cause the swarms to be in disarray. Remember, Zaz was murdered by... I don't know if I even like the word murder. This is war. Zaz was killed, destroyed by Zeratul in the Zerg campaign a few videos back in the playlist when we were playing the Zerg. And Kerrigan's like, meh, no big deal. In fact, it's a shame that they cannot be truly killed because she and Zaz did not get along. There were some personality clashes there. Anyway, the other Cerebrit, Dagoth, told Kerrigan, no, actually, there is no reincarnating Zaz. The Overmind cannot do it because there is a new form of attack. They destroyed Zaz for good. There's no way to reincarnate. So that's why we had to fight against our own Zerg brood. Alright, I'm pushing out a little bit here. We are against a ton of Hydralisks. But those Dragoons are doing awesome. Even though a few fell... Oh, okay. Maybe in retrospect, I should have pushed out with a greater force of Dragoons. Because those sunken colonies take a lot of hits to take out. Whoa! Okay, that didn't go as well as I thought it would. In fact, let's pull back. Alright, so they have a lot of defenses. Let's see, what do we have? 2.5 more minutes? I think that's when we'll finally meet with Phoenix, because I'm noticing I don't have control of him, but one of the objectives is to keep him alive, so I'm guessing after the 2.5 minutes he will join our forces? It's been many years since I played this campaign, so I don't remember all the details.
Make use of me, Lokpari. Commencing for vengeance.
But we'll find out soon enough. Alright, we have 2 ramps into our base, I'm just noticing, and we have some beautiful water. I really do like the quality of life upgrades by using the Starcraft 2 engine. The environment is very beautiful. Very tropic planet. Alright, we have another area up here, and we have the ramp. I'm guessing we're going to be faced with a lot of Zerg. We'll find out. Alright, we have a potential base. Interesting thing to note, though, is when Zerg are burrowed, you can't build any structures on there. So sometimes when you're trying to build a building and it's red for some reason, you don't know why, it's likely because there's a Zerg burrowed underneath there. Either that, or there's a cloaked unit just standing there. And that is a common strategy if you are Protoss and you have cloaked units, or if you're Zerg and you have units that can burrow, is to go burrow one Zergling where the enemy would put a nexus or a command center, and that prevents them from being able to build there. And it's just a kind of a way to slow the enemy down. Alright, I need 400 minerals before I can build a nexus, so I'm going to just hang out for a second. Oh, I'm really starving for minerals. Oh no, I'm going to have to do a long mining. Okay, I was not thinking. So in fact, I think I'm going to cancel some of these Dragoons so I don't have to mine long distance too much. Oh, okay, the timer just ran down, I didn't notice. Have a little cutscene here with some Hydralisks.
Executor, we are in position. I await your orders.
Phoenix, my man. Alright, oh, he's come with a lot of backup too. We have like 5 Dragoons, 5 Zealots, and then we have 2 Scarabs. Alright, I'm going to cancel some of these because I do need to build another Nexus. Because long distance mining is extremely dangerous. Your probes are traversing the entire map and they are vulnerable to attack. I'm going to right click this button here, which means they will continuously construct those little exploding scarabs. I think they cost 15 minerals each or something like that. But it's worth it because they do a great amount of damage. So those are kind of like carriers, Protoss carriers, but for the ground. They crawl across the ground and they shoot out these exploding scarabs. Each shot is 15 minerals. I think 15. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they do a great deal of damage, especially splash damage to lots of little zerglings and hydralisks. You guys just hang out here for a second. I think we have enough troops and units to decimate this entire base. I think the Cerebrate is just south of my army. Where is it? There it is. It's a big, like, caterpillar slug looking thing. Alright, once we finish that, the objective is complete, and we will have won the mission 2 of the Protoss campaign of Starcraft 1.
I will remain behind and observe the effects of our attack. Return to the Citadel. I shall notify you when the brood becomes erratic.
Alright, thank you so much, friends, for watching. Join me on the next video of the playlist. If you could take just half a second to leave a like, that really helps the channel, and I'd really appreciate it. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Goodbye.